Hey everybody! We are getting ready to, well, I should start with saying welcome back to our stream. I'm streaming Dragon Age Origins, one of my very favorite games. And so far, we made a human noble rogue named River, because it's for a stream. I am gonna make that joke every time, just so you know. So we made the human noble rogue. We got out of Highever in the midst of much turmoil and devastation. Bum bum bum. And we got to Ostagar, and we went through the joining, became Grey Wardens, and then everything went to hell from there. And but so the only wardens that made it out were River and, of course, Alistair. We got saved by Flemeth. So here's the recap. We got saved by Flemeth, who said, you know, I'm saving you basically because you're Grey Wardens, and Grey Wardens are the ones that are required for Blight. So here you are, and get to it. And also take Morgan with you. Take my daughter with you so she can help you not die. And with Morgan's advice, we headed off to the nearest city of any, your nearest town of any consequence, which was Lothering, and that is where we have arrived. At the end of the last episode, we were confronted by some thieves with really poor judgment, who looked at two people in armor, a war dog, and someone who was carrying a mage staff, and thought, yeah, we can take them. So not the brightest crayons in the box, those guys. And now they're dead. I mean, now they're arrested? No, they're dead. We killed them. They were bad people. They had it coming. So at any rate, at the end of the last episode, we were just on the outskirts of Lothering. We were talking to Morgan and Alistair about what we should do next. And Alistair had some ideas, including go to Redcliffe, to talk to Arl Eamon, and have see if he can help us. We have the Grey Warden treaties, which allow us to get help from dwarves, mages, and elves. So we have the option of going to see any of those three groups. And then Morgan's advice was just go find Loghain and kill him, which seems like it's probably not, probably easier said than done, I'm thinking. So that is where we're at. We are headed into Lothering now to see what we can see, and I'm sure that nothing at all will go wrong. I'm sure everything will proceed smoothly from here on out. Not really. That would be a really boring game. So, all right. Without further ado, let us hop into the game. Okay, I remembered to actually switch to the screen. I am getting these technical things down, see? So here we are. Here is our motley group here. We've got River, our hero of our story. We've got the lovely and talented Alistair, the lovely and snarky Morgan, and, of course, the ever-lovable war dog, Darkspawn. And we are on our way into Lothering. So let's see what we can see. So far, we hear lots of cows. That's what I'm noticing. Lots of cows mooing. Oh, elf fruit. What's our mantra? Can never have too much elf fruit. Okay, anybody?
I have a wonder, Alistair, if you will indulge me.
Do I have a choice?
Of the two of you that remain, are you not the senior Grey Warden here? I find it curious that you allow another to lead while you follow.
You find that curious, do you?
In fact, you defer to a new recruit. Is this the policy of the Grey Wardens, or simply a personal one?
What do you want to hear? That I prefer to follow? I do.
You sound so very defensive.
Couldn't you crawl into a bush somewhere and die? That would be great, thanks.
Morgan and Alistair have the absolute best banter. I love all the banters in the game, but the two of them talking, they just get along so well. And it's always fun to hear what they have to say to each other. So, alright. We've got a broken crate over here that has something we can sell. Hello, refugees who've brought everything you can carry with you. That's terrible that you've had to flee the Darkspawn. Do you have any stuff? Okay, I'm gonna take that. That's cool, right?
I'm scared. When are we going home?
Bad news, kid. It's probably not gonna happen. I hate to break it to you.
Please, we came here to get away from the fighting.
I wasn't fighting. I was just saying hi. Jeez, so defensive. Oh, I mean, the dog is walking on you, so that's probably part of it, but... Okay, nothing exciting for these folks. Generally, I'll just say variations on the same themes of, you know, we're fleeing, we're scared, it sucks.
I hear those bandits are back again. Why don't the Templars kill them?
Well, they don't have to because I did.
We were lucky. We had the coin to pay the toll to those bandits. Many didn't.
I think that's terrible that you had to pay bandits coin. I got some coin from bandits, but I don't think that's related, so I'm gonna keep it.
As if we needed more fighting here. Don't you see how scared everyone is?
I do, random townsperson Jowan. I mean, random townsperson. His voice is so distinctive, and he is the voice of so many NPCs in this game. It's just hard not to react that way.
I almost feel sorry for the Kunari locked in that cage. It won't be able to defend itself from the Darkspawn.
There's a Kunari in a cage, you say? Alright, let's go onward and upward. Here's a kid. What do you have to say, kid?
I'm scared. When are we going home?
Well, same as I said to the other kid. Sorry about your bad luck. Oh, here's a person. Hi, person.
You don't look like the other folk fleeing the south. Were you in the battle?
Mind your own business, no. What makes you think that?
You don't look chastened, so you're not from the wilds. And you're not a farmer. I'd guess you saw some fighting.
Aren't you the smart one? Yes, I was with the king's army.
I thought them that survived already marched north with the Tairn. You must be a survivor, or a deserter. Lucky you, I guess.
I, have some questions.
Can't promise I'm gonna answer them.
Rude. What's going on here?
What isn't? We got chastened barbarians in every farmholder south of Callanhard running from the Darkspawn. Not that they'll be safe here with the army gone.
Who's in charge of this village?
You could talk to the Elder, though she's got her hands full getting everyone on their way. For now, most folks go to Sir Bryant. He's head of the Chantry's Templars.
You don't have a ruling lord?
He's gone to war and taken all his soldiers, leaving us to fend for ourselves. There's not going to be much left when he returns, if he returns.
True story. Were those bandits always outside the village?
Were? You mean they're gone?
Yes, I drove them off.
Well, goody for you. Now there's no one to drive off the blighted refugees. Sir Brian'll be glad, though. He's been talking about offering a reward for anyone who'd run them out.
Well, that's a great way to say thank you, jerk. I should go before I slap you.
Don't let me stop you.
As if you could.
Where can we go? This is no better than what we left.
I'm sorry. It's a bunch more refugees. Say variations on the same thing.
I heard those bandits are back again. Why don't the Templars kill them?
Mother says we have to run before the bad men get here.
Aw.
I want to go home.
Poor kids.
Please, we came here to get away from the fighting.
So I've heard. Elfruit! And so far all I've done is gather the elfruit, and I have made 0 potions or anything else with it. So it may be crossing your minds, why am I gathering elfruit? The answer is, because that's what you do. You see elfruit, you pick it up. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, Let's go talk to Templar Fenris. I
If you're
mean,
looking
Templar.
for safe shelter, I'll warn you. There's none to be found.
Gideon Emery, who does the voice of Fenris in the second game, also does many voices in this game. This
Move
being
on
one
if
of
you
them.
can. Lothering's lost.
What do you mean?
We've had refugees streaming from the south for the last 2 days. The Chantry and tavern are full to bursting. There simply isn't enough food to go around, and we Templars can barely keep order. You'd be better off elsewhere, my friend.
Can I ask a few questions?
I'm just out here to keep an eye out for Darkspawn. Please ask someone in town. No offense.
Is anyone in charge here?
The band has marched north with Terran Loghain, so Lothering's on its own. Most folks look to Elder Miriam. Otherwise, you could speak to Sir Bryant in the Chantry, I suppose. It's up to you.
Alright, well, thank you then. Here's the downside of this bow that I've got on. It's very cool looking, except for when you're having a conversation, it's very large. So we may go back to the other one, just for the sake of... Oh, do I still have it? Maybe I don't still have it. I guess we won't then. Unless I gave it to Alistair. Did I give it to Alistair? I did. Look at that. Unequip. Equip. And that'll be fine for now. Alright. So, let's go onward and upward here. I could be wrong, by the way, when I hear some of these voices and I go, oh, this is so-and-so, but I'm usually pretty good at guessing the voice actor by ear. So if I'm wrong, I stand or sit corrected, but I'm pretty sure that, especially in this case,
I'm just here to keep watch.
that is the future voice of Fenris. So,
A few knights have come through here, searching for some holy artifact. Not one of them stopped to help.
really? How dreadful. There's another kid.
Look how they moan and wail and gnash their teeth. It is sad to watch how helplessly they scurry about.
It's just a guess, but I'm thinking everyone in Lothering is aware of the approaching Darkspawn horde.
Seems like a safe bet. I should note that I do have a couple of mods that you can see here. This is the Templar armor from Dragon Age 2. Not the original Templar armor from this game. I like the look of it better. I feel like it is... I don't know. I just like it better. So that's what the Templars here are wearing. That is a mod. And you'll note that both Morrigan and Alistair gave their opinions just now about going into the village, and Alistair talking about the approach of the Darkspawn, and Morrigan being her usual charming, caring self, and that the fact that they both were able to give their banter is also a mod that allows, instead of normally what happens is one of your party members takes precedence in what is said when you come to a certain area. And in this one, it allows them all to speak rather than just one of them. So any mod that makes it so you can hear more of their various smartass commentary is always my favorite. So onward and upward. Some various people that have nothing much of interest to say. Oh, there's some folks over here.
Mother, where are you?
Oh, we'll get to him in a minute. Poor kid.
Greetings to you, milady. If it isn't too much to ask, might you be able to spare some bread?
What happened to you?
We thought it would be safer in Lothering, that the Terran would bring his soldiers here. But bandits attacked us and took everything. Our food, our clothes, my daughter's pet lamb. Nobody cares about a few elves. Can you help us?
The pet and everything? Really, bandits? Really? Was that necessary? I met those bandits. They're dead now.
You killed them?
That's wonderful news. Perhaps our belongings are still there.
I can't thank you enough, friend. Even if we don't get everything back, it's good to know others will be safe.
I chose the dialogue option that lets me feel good by giving them hope but doesn't actually involve me giving them back any money. We're a little low on funds at the moment, so we're going with the more frugal approaches. So we get something over here. This is a gift for someone that we don't have in our party yet. That is the one note about the gift mod that shows you who the gifts are for. Is that it does give a little bit of a spoiler to people that may join your party in the future. So if that is something that concerns you, you might not want to pick that one up, but it does make it a lot easier to make sure you're giving the gifts to the right people. So we're going to pick all this up for now. Flasks are a crafting item that you use to make potions, poisons, that kind of thing. So we're going to take that. We're not going to take that because the inventory is full. Dope. Well, we'll come back for that. We're about to hit a merchant anyway. So.
I'm cold. I don't like this.
Aw, poor kid.
Have you seen my mother?
You poor thing. Did you and your mother get separated?
Some mean men with swords came, and Mother told me to run to the village as fast as I could, so I did. She said she'd be right behind me, but I've been waiting and waiting, and I can't see her.
Do you know where your father is?
He went with William to the neighbours yesterday, but he didn't come back.
I can't say that one. It's true that his mother is probably not coming, but it's just so harsh. And who knows? Maybe she is. She's not. But maybe she is. Come with me. I'll help you look for your mother.
Mother said I wasn't to go with anyone. I'm supposed to wait for her here, in the village.
Stranger danger. Gotcha. Go to the Chantry, child. Someone will look after you. And you won't be out here standing in the middle of the road for anybody to come along and harm.
I will, but only if I don't find Mother first. You're a really nice lady. Kind of like Mother. I should go look for her.
Anytime they show kids in the game, it really kind of makes me think about the impact of all of this on. The impact of the blight on everyone is obviously terrible. You have people dying and being carried off and having terrible things happening to them, losing their homes and possessions, losing their livelihoods, all kinds of terrible things. But at least you can know that the adults can sort of understand the situation. They can go, okay, this is a blight. This is what's happening. I mean, they may be taken by surprise because no one expected it, but they can grasp the situation. When you see these kids and they're just like, bad guys came and we had to leave home and I don't understand. I don't know why we can't go back where my stuff is and my friends, what's going to happen. And it sort of brings home to me that in any kind of conflict, not just in games, but in real life too, is that, the people that you really have to feel for are the innocents who not only didn't cause the issue, but can't understand the issue, that are just sort of carried on in the tide of what's happening, and it's rough, It makes you kind of feel for them when you start to think about them as actual people. So.
Back off. I have the right to charge what I wish.
You profit from their misfortune. I should have the Templars give away everything in your carts.
You wouldn't dare. Any of you step too close to my goods and I'll...
It's so nice to see everyone working together in a crisis. Warms the heart.
Oh, you there. You look able. Would you care to make a tiny profit helping a beleaguered businessman?
A tiny profit, eh? Is your profiteering ruffling some feathers?
You could say that, yes.
The nerve of these people!
He is charging outlandish prices for things people desperately need. Their blood is filling his pockets.
Sounds messy.
Tis only survival of the fittest. All of these cretins would do the same in his shoes, given the chance.
I have limited supplies. The people decide what those supplies are worth to them.
You bought most of your wares from these very people last week. Now they flee for their lives, and you want to talk business?
Look, stranger, I've 100 silvers if you drive this rabble off, starting with that priest. I'm an honest merchant, nothing more.
Honest merchant, my ass. You, don't think you're being unscrupulous?
Would it help these folks if they could buy no goods at all?
They spend their very last coin because they are desperate, and this man preys upon them as surely as the bandits outside the city.
Ah, I'm not arguing anymore. Drive off this woman and get your 100 silvers. Otherwise, I'm taking my wagon and leaving.
I think you can compromise and still make a profit, no?
Perhaps. If that woman agrees I'm allowed to charge something.
Do what you must, so long as the prices do not beggar the needy.
Fine, fine, done. And since you don't look too needy, normal prices for you.
So, we have come to solve every squabble in the village personally. My, but the Darkspawn will be impressed.
Thank you for your generous assistance. May the Maker watch over your path.
You'd better. Yeah, Morgan disapproves, as per usual. Hi, Pastor John. Yeah, Morgan disapproves as per usual anytime you are nice to people. She's generally not in favor of that. It's more that she has been raised in an atmosphere of the strong survive, and you should be strong. If you're not strong enough to do what you need to do, it's on you, basically. So she feels that anybody who's not strong enough to protect their own rights is not worthy of protection, which is, there are certain merits to saying that people need to do things for themselves, because if you do things for everyone, they will never become stronger. But at the same time, there's a time and a place, and people fleeing for their lives is not really the time to be like, no, we need to teach a man to fish instead of giving him fish. You know what I'm saying? So now that we've solved this, we can actually talk to the merchant.
Don't suppose you're looking to buy something?
I am indeed. Let's see what you have.
All right. Just don't buy everything up.
I don't think that's going to be a problem, because basically I'm going to sell you a bunch of stuff, and I probably don't want anything you have. Except for... none of that stuff. I generally don't buy a lot of armor. This is a gift, but I'm not going to buy that yet, because again, it's for someone we don't have in the party yet. So, time to sell off a bunch of stuff. You can have that, and you can have that. Anything that's a plain item, a plain longsword, plain mace, plain short bow, I generally don't bother to hang on to. We don't have any crossbows at the moment, so there's no real point in hanging on to crossbow bolts. We can't wield that yet. We just took that one off. Can't sell the family sword. Gotta keep the family sword. These are tier 1. I don't think we're going to use those again, so they can go. That we'll hang on to for now. And back to this. We don't need that. There were, I changed out some of the armor pieces that I was using. I have 2 different mods that have Grey Warden armor as a part of them, and the one that I had, I didn't have all the pieces, so I swapped over to the other one. So you see that I have a few Grey Warden pieces, or a few Warden pieces that aren't Grey Warden pieces. I wanted to make sure I had the match set, because then you get the set bonus, which is always handy. So that's part of the reason why you're seeing me sell off some of the Warden armors here. Before I sell that off, I should probably check and see what Morgan is wearing. We don't need that. Those are not bad. Get rid of that. And we'll come back to that. This is nothing. It's just a ring with nothing, no bonuses. And I'm going to sell off the lesser health poultices and just hang on to the good ones. I don't generally use the stamina drafts. So we're going to get rid of some of that too. Again, if I were playing on, if I were trying to do some kind of hardcore nightmare thing, I would probably make a lot better use of a lot of these things. But since we're doing this more for the story and the lore, it just kind of tends to fill up my pockets and get in the way. So I tend to sell it off. So these are gifts. We're going to hang on to that. This is a gem that is here to be sold. So we are going to do that. And that. So we've gotten rid of some things there. I still got a lot of stuff in my pockets, but we'll go with this for now. Okay, so now that we've gotten some room, we can go back here and pick up the gift that I didn't have room to pick up a minute ago. Alright, we'll take that. And whatever's over here. Elf fruit! Alright, and we got a few more crates over here. I'm sure that no one will be bothered by the fact that we're poking in and taking their belongings.
The Chanters are still operating their board. Now that's dedication.
Ah, the Chantry board. Yes, let us run errands for the betterment of mankind as well as a few coppers.
A few coppers, you say? Bandits, bandits everywhere. As transcribed on behalf of Sir Bryant, Templar and Defender of the Faith, know that all those who prey upon refugees do so under pain of death. The Maker spurns bandits and their kind. The Templars offer a sizable reward for the apprehension or execution of the bandit leaders plying their trade in the northern wood and roads. Beware, the bandits are numerous and of considerable skill. Well, not that considerable. Only a well-armed and well-trained party should brave the deep wood. We pray for the success of any who undertake this mission. Residents of good standing and passing travelers have indicated there are 3 bandit groups in the northern wood. This humble chanter would echo Sir Bryant's caution, lest you wind up another victim to these evil men. The reward for such service is 3 sovereigns. May the Maker look after his children in our hour of need. Well, we would be doing that anyway, so we might as well get paid. So, let's talk to this guy here.
And Eileen spoke unto the masses, my hearth is yours, my bread is yours, my life is yours. For all who walk in the sight of the Maker are one.
It's Chanter Jowan. Greetings? You don't talk much, do you?
Let all repeat the Chant of Light. Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
He can't answer you. He's Chanter Devons.
What's a chanter?
One of them that can only say the Chant of Light. His board has letters of good deeds to be doing. My father fixed Widow Allison's roof once, and the charter paid him, he did.
A learned child is a blessing upon his parents and onto the Maker.
It's like a vow of silence, then. He can't talk normally.
Unless it's the Chant of Light, no.
And so Rajmael in the heathen temple recanted. Speak only the word, sing only the chant, then the golden city is thine, spoke Andraste.
It's always fun to be a jerk to the chanter. A chanter says what?
What?
Oh, you got him to speak. Ha!
What hath man's sin wrought?
Oh, he cheated.
Have anything of interest on the board?
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
Get used to that phrase. Gonna be hearing that one a lot throughout the games. Alright, now that we've messed with the chanter and taken a quest...
Your king is dead! There is no hope!
Wow, harsh.
The legions of evil are on your doorstep! They will feast upon our hearts! There is nowhere to run! This evil will cover the world like a plague of locusts!
Please, you're scaring the children!
Better to slit their throats now than let them suffer at Darkspawn hands! There! One of their minions is already amongst us! This woman bears their evil stench!
Rude.
Can you not see the vile blackness that fills her?
Why don't you keep your voice down?
I watch the Black Horde descend on my people! I will not be silent!
Clearly.
Please stop! Somebody shut his mouth!
But isn't he right? The ban left us. We're going to die.
Probably.
This minion is but the first of those who will destroy us!
I am not a minion. You poor man, what happened to you?
My family, my clan, those creatures butchered them all. Some of us fled here, but we cannot escape the Darkspawn!
It must have been horrible. How did you escape?
I ran, hearing my wife's screams as they dragged her off. She had hair the same color as yours.
You're not honoring her death by acting like this.
Are you calling me a coward?
I'm calling you an idiot. Listen to yourself for a moment.
I have shamed my ancestors, but the blackness will come.
He was right, wasn't he? There's no hope for us.
There's always hope. Muster your courage.
You're right. We can't give up.
But we can't fight. What are we supposed to do?
We can't lie down and die either. We must go north to Denerim.
Yeah, there's the smart one.
The evil shall descend upon us!
Wow, that's quite an echo he's got there.
Maybe with that blasted chasing gone, my headache will go as well.
A longbow. In a pile of sacks. Alright. More people saying more of the same things. And here we have a Templar. Sir Merrin.
If you seek refuge in the Chantry, there's simply no room left.
You're closed.
We turn none aside, but we simply don't have room for anyone to sleep. Priests are within if you seek to offer devotion to the Maker, however. May he protect us all.
Who's in charge of this Chantry?
The revered mother runs the Chantry itself, and Sir Bryant heads the Templars stationed here.
So I've heard. Did you know there were bandits on the highway?
Were? Did you drive them off? Well, Sir Bryant will appreciate that.
Have you heard any news?
Not since Tairn Loghain passed by with his army. It's a shame about the king. But with the Darkspawn coming, few can think of anything else.
Goodbye.
Make her watch over you.
I sure hope so. All right, into the Chantry. With an apostate.
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Or we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
Yet again, their snark is awesome. Okay, there's lots of refugees who all say...
As if we needed more fighting here. Don't you see how scared everyone is?
Quiet, Jowan.
There's word of Darkspawn stragglers, but no sign of the main horde. We are the only hope of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon them. That is all. May the Maker have mercy on us.
I should point out, when I keep saying Jowan, in the, yeah, I agree, the banter is just phenomenal. I actually have one of the mods later on that when you're in the party camp lets you sit on a bench and trigger banter, so you can just listen to it, which is great. It's much easier than what I used to do, which was go back and forth over the bridge in Orzammar 800 times. But yeah, all the various character banter, party banter is just the best. But it's interesting here because one thing before I go on, I keep saying, oh, that's, sounds like Jowan. Since we did the noble origin, we did not meet Jowan, so if you have not played the mage origin, you might not know what I'm talking about. But Jowan is one of the main characters in the mage origin story, so you get to hear his voice a lot there. So when you hear it literally everywhere else in the game, it's easy to pick out. So, alright, so now that we've gotten into a chantry with an apostate, let's say hi to the Templars. What could go wrong?
Yes, my lady? Who might you be?
You can call me River.
I am Sir Bryant, commander of Lothering's remaining Templars. You don't seem like the other refugees. Are you one of Arl Eamon's knights?
I'm a Grey Warden, actually.
I see. Tern Loghain declared all Grey Wardens traitors responsible for the king's death. You know this, I hope.
What? The Grey Wardens did no such thing.
I don't believe the Grey Wardens would be as careless or malicious as the Tern claims. But either way, there it is. It is best you not linger, though. Just in case.
Are you in charge here?
The revered mother leads this flock. I merely command her Templars. Normally, our role is to protect the Chantry and seek out unsanctioned magic. For now, it is all we can do to protect the innocent.
And if you found an unsanctioned mage?
Let us pretend that I was such a mage. What would you do to me?
Quiet, Morgan.
I have no time to even think about such things right now. My concern is protecting these people. I see nothing threatening them other than the Darkspawn.
Smart man. How do Templars fight against magic, since we're on the subject?
We have more than swords at our disposal. We're taught to dispel unholy magics as well. If only our powers work to keep away the Darkspawn. Alas, it is not so.
Alas. Are you the only protection this village has?
Our ban was summoned by Tern Loghain, and he took his soldiers north with him. Lothering has been abandoned.
Where would I find the revered mother?
In her study, no doubt, preparing what she will take when we eventually evacuate.
Tell me about something else.
If the matter is important, certainly.
Have you heard any recent news?
Other than the Darkspawn horde bearing down on us, none of it is good. Tern Loghain is set to declare himself king, I hear. Disaster piled on disaster.
What do you mean?
Tern Loghain has no legitimate claim on the throne. He may be a hero, and his daughter may be queen, but he is a commoner, and the king's corpse is barely cold. If Arl Eamon was able to intervene, perhaps it would not have gone this far. I do not care who takes the throne. Only fools fight over who owns a cottage while it burns down around them.
I love that quote. I just think it's so well said. Only fools fight over who owns a cottage while it burns down around them. And that is what happens in this entire game. Everybody that you go to, you're like, we need help because this terrible thing is going to happen. And they're like, well, we would help you, but we got to deal with this other random thing first. We'll cut the mages some slack on that. What they got going on is pretty urgent, but some of the other things, it's like, really, guys? Really? This is your focus? I don't know. Anyway, what is wrong with Arl Eamon?
Arl Eamon has fallen ill, and his knights are on a quest for the sacred urn filled with Andraste's ashes, said to cure any malady. He must be very ill if they chase miracles as the only cure.
Well,
One of the
not good
Arl's
news.
knights, Sir Donal, is here searching for fantasies while... Never mind. Ask him if you care about this foolishness.
Things seem very dire in the village.
They are. With the ban having taken his men north, the village is left to its fate. We will evacuate as many as we can before the horde reaches us. I will stay as long as I am needed. Now, unless there's something else you need.
I need some information.
If the matter is important, certainly.
Have you heard any other news?
Only if you are interested in the business of mages.
I am. Tell me.
I have heard word that the Templars who watch over the Circle of Magi's tower have called for the rite of annulment. Hopefully I've heard wrong.
I think it's funny that in this game you see it called the Rite, R-I-G-H-T, but in other places it's the R-I-T-E, like the rite, like the religious procedure of annulment, and it makes sense either way, really, but I have to double check my sources on that, but I'm pretty sure that I've seen it both ways in different places, which, you know, I suppose it could be said that maybe that's what the people that you're talking to think it is, because they don't understand the difference, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, speaking of which, what is the rite of annulment?
If the rite of annulment is invoked, the tower and every living soul within will be destroyed.
We need the Circle's help. We should go and find out what's happening.
To have such a call when mages are needed to fight the Darkspawn, something terrible must have happened. I have nothing else to tell you. The only news I care about is the approaching horde.
I've nothing else to ask.
Unless there's something else you need.
Is there any other help you can offer?
I cannot openly help you, I fear, but... Here, take this key. It opens the large cabinet on the far wall. There is more there than we can carry when we evacuate, so take what you need.
Oh, and I don't have an option to say thank you, but thank you, Sir Bryant. But about those bandits outside the village.
Maker's breath, how many times must we drive them off?
They won't bother you again. I killed them.
All of them? By yourself?
Well, I don't like to brag.
It's true. I saw it from my post. It was over so fast, we didn't even have time to get over there.
Sad that it needed to come to that. But then they asked for it. Will you accept a small reward for your service?
Time to piss off Morrigan again. No need. Your thanks is enough.
That is very generous of you. If it interests you, there is a Chanter's board outside full of quests that need doing. The Chanters even offer pay for some of them. Now, unless there's something else you need.
I think he has a little bit more. Let's go on. I need
if
some
the matter
information.
is important, certainly.
No, I guess not. We've gone through all of his dialogue options, it would appear. I've nothing else to ask.
Now, unless there's something else you need.
I should go.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you.
Every time they do that whole, like, bow thing, my brain goes, Wakanda forever! It's a odd juxtaposition there. So, a book.
As you wish.
The First Blight, Chapter 1. Oh, that sounds interesting. The First Blight, Chapter 1. Thedas is a land of fierce diversity, from the assassin princes of Antiva to the faded griffins of the Anderfels. But in my travels I have found one tale that unites the people of this land. It is a story of pride and damnation, and although the telling differs, the essence of the tale remains the same. At the height of its power, the Tevinter Imperium stretched over much of Thedas, uniting the known world under the rule of the tyrannical Magisters. It is said that the old gods whom the Magisters worshipped gave them the knowledge of blood magic, and the Magisters used this forbidden power to cement their rule. The blood of elven slaves and humans alike ran down imperial altars to fuel Magister greed. The tales of their excesses so horrifying that one can only be grateful that blood magic is prohibited today. But all that stands tall must eventually fall. Perhaps they foresaw their ruin, or perhaps their pride knew no bounds, but whatever the reason, the Magisters dared to open a magical portal into the Golden City at the heart of the Fade. They sought to usurp the Maker's throne, long left unattended in the Golden City after the Maker turned his back on his creations. They would storm heaven itself with their power and become as gods. That is what the Chantry, in its oft-exercised tendency to understate, refers to as the second sin. According to most versions of the tale, the Magisters did indeed reach the Golden City and walked into the home of the Maker where no living being before them had dared, or been able, to tread. But humanity is not meant to walk in heaven. The Magisters were wicked with pride and other sins, and their presence tainted the Golden City. What once was a perfect holy citadel became a twisted home of darkness and nightmares. The Magisters were expelled back through their gateway and cursed for their treachery. As the Golden City had been tainted, so were the Magisters twisted and transformed into things of darkness, the very first of the Darkspawn. The Golden City, once a shining beacon at the heart of the Fade, became the Black City, a reminder of all that man's pride has cost. From Tales of the Destruction of Thedas by Brother Genitivi. Brother Genitivi. He's always got good things to say. So, it's interesting how much of this legend is presented as just fact. This is how it is. This is how Darkspawn came to be. But when you start talking to, earlier when we talked to Alistair about it, or when you talk to the dwarves about it, they go, nobody really knows. That's just that story is a story. Nobody can say for sure that that's how it happened. But it's accepted as a historical truth by a huge amount of people in Thedas. So, here we have Sir Donald. Let's talk to him and see what he has to say.
Who? I beg your pardon. I did not see you approach.
Sir Donald? Is that you?
Alistair? By the Maker, how are you? I was certain you were dead.
Not yet. No thanks to turn Loghain.
If Arl Eamon were well, he'd set Loghain straight soon enough.
So you're here looking for the Urn of Sacred Ashes, then?
I am indeed. Andraste's ashes are said to cure any illness. But I fear we are chasing a fable. With each day, my hope dims.
So, your quest for the ashes brought you here?
I expected to take advantage of the Chantry's library, in fact. But my skills are better suited to battle than chasing down tales.
Tell me more about this Urn of Sacred Ashes.
Supposedly, the urn contains the ashes of the prophetess Andraste. Surely you know all this.
I'd like to hear what you've learned. I mean, of course I know it, but I want to hear what you know. Yeah.
If you're truly interested, there are books here containing a great deal of lore.
Yeah,
nothing I have found leads me to believe that this was anything more than a quest of desperation. I intend to return to Redcliffe soon and tell the Arlessa exactly that, once Sir Henrik arrives.
Who is Sir Henrik?
My fellow knight and travelling companion. He is delayed, though.
Yeah, kinda terminally delayed. Your friend Sir Henrik is dead. I have something of his.
What? And you have his locket? And a note? Maker's mercy. Thank you for giving me these. I would never have known otherwise.
I'm sorry about your friend.
Thank you. I wonder how many of us have met similar fates on this mad quest.
Shouldn't you be fleeing the Darkspawn?
My mission takes priority. But I fear I shall be returning to Redcliffe with nothing to show for my efforts.
I was hoping to meet Arl Eamon, in fact.
Why is that, if I may ask?
We need his help against Tern Loghain.
I see. The Arl is a popular man, it's true. Tern Loghain, however, is a hero throughout Ferelden. Whatever the Tern has done or not done, the Arl remains ill, or worse. That is my primary concern.
The character that, hi! The character that I am playing right now is a human noble, and I mainly go with the morally... if this were Dragon Age 2, I would be playing the blue character, which is basically the morally nice, good person, for the most part, unless the snarky options are more fun, and then I kind of pick those. But I am using just a ton of mods. Yeah, a little bit of a goody two shoes. But yeah, I'm using a ton of mods. I keep saying that I need to post the full list, and I am going to do that, but I haven't done it yet. As far as the textures, the primary texture mod is called Dragon Age Redesigned, and it redoes almost all of the textures in the game. The Grey Warden uniforms are from a mod called Grey Wardens of Ferelden, which basically gives them these amazing armors. But yeah, the basic like world textures and faces and all that kind of stuff is Dragon Age redesigned, which is just a huge impact on the game and how it looks. I actually went back and looked at it unmodded. I haven't heard of that one yet. Dragon Age Reborn. We're in the chat. We're talking about a mod called Dragon Age Reborn, which I actually am not familiar with. I haven't checked that out. So it reworks. Wow, I can talk. It reworks the skills. That should be interesting. I'll have to check that out. In this playthrough, I generally go for a lot of the... I'm more focused on the lore and the story than a lot of the technical aspects of it. So I don't tend to focus as much on the skills and stuff, but some of the mods that you can get to change up the skills are really fun. I did get one that added some more mage skills I had for a while that I don't have right now, but... Okay, so different. The Dragon Age Reborn allows different mods like a Berserker Archer. Well, that would be interesting. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that and see. I like anything that makes it so you can kind of change things up a little bit. So that's always fun. But yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. Neat. But yeah, I do need to get the list of all the mods that I am using posted, but I keep forgetting to actually do it. So anyways, you said the Arl remains ill, unfortunately. So do you think Loghain is involved with the Arl's illness?
The Arl fell ill before the king died. But what if Loghain planned that too? Oh, such thoughts do not sit well with me.
We should see what's happening at Redcliffe ourselves. I believe that now more than ever.
If nothing else, I am certain you would be welcomed at Castle Redcliffe. The Arlessa is there, and she could tell you more than I could.
And the ever-popular BioWare conversation ending sentence, I should go.
With Henrik gone, I need to return to Redcliffe. Perhaps later I will seek out the scholar his note mentions. But I must go. Thank you again, my lady. You have been most helpful.
The Sacred Ashes of Andraste. Only one person's... we read about some of this when we were looking at the shield, Hvar's Aegis. I did look up the pronunciation, by the way. It is Aegis. I was correct. So only one person witnessed Maferath's betrayal, Maferath being Andraste's husband. Hvar the Aegis, a childhood friend of Maferath, he accompanied his chief to the meeting with the Devinters, not realizing what was planned. When he understood that Maferath was giving Andraste over to be executed, Hvar, unwilling to draw swords against his friend and liege, placed himself between Andraste and the Tevinter soldiers. The Tevinters struck him down, and Maferath left him for dead. Gravely wounded, Hvar made his way to the gates of Minrathous to stop the execution. When he reached it, the terrible deed was already done, the armies on the plains long since dispersed. Hvar, cursing his weakness, gathered the earthly remains of Andraste that had been left to the wind and the rain, and wept. When his fingers touched the pile of ash, his ears filled with song, and he saw before him a vision of Andraste, dressed in cloth made of starlight. She knelt at his side, saying, "The Maker shall never forget you, so long as I remember." The song faded, and the vision with it, and Hvar was alone, but his wounds were healed. With new strength, Hvar took up the ashes of Our Lady, and bore them back to the lands of the Alamari. From Thedas Myths and Legends by Brother Genitivi, who in the note that Sir Henrik was just talking about, or Sir Donald was just talking about from his friend Sir Henrik, mentioned talking to Brother Genitivi. So something tells me we'll be doing that at some point. So there's not a whole lot else here.
A chant of light scattered in the darkness. The word dispelled fear and ignorance. Let those who cry out from the shadows be comforted. Let those who seek redemption be delivered. Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
And when the chant spreads across all four corners of the world, let it rise at last to the ears of the Maker. Let him hear our unwavering faith.
Yeah.
Let him hear
All right.
our righteous dedication and
It's terrible. So many come to Lothering, seeking refuge, only to find that we can offer little more than prayer. Does the Maker see our plight? Is he moved by this destruction? I apologize. The Maker's plan is too grand for me to fathom, especially at times like this.
I think that's interesting that they react that way, because I think that that is a hallmark of the religious experience in almost every religion, is when you get to that point of why, if this being that we are worshiping is all powerful, why are bad things happening? Why is this suffering allowed? And that is one of the, I think, essential crises of faith in every religion. So it's interesting to me that they kind of put a nod to that with this character in here. This character who is obviously a religious person. She's a sister of the Chantry, and yet she's moved by this suffering to go, why is this happening? So we can get a little more information about the Chant of Light here if we want. What are those priests chanting exactly? And she's like, what?
The Chant of Light. Surely you know it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course I know it. The chant shows our devotion to the Maker.
The entire chant takes weeks to sing, and is only done straight through at the Grand Cathedral in Val Royeaux. Here we can only sing a few verses per week, and finish anew each first day.
Tell me more about the Chant of Light.
When the prophet Andraste was burned by the Magisters, the Maker turned away from his creations. We gain his forgiveness by spreading Andraste's teachings. The Maker will return when the chant is sung from the four corners of the world.
That seems like an excuse to spread the Chantry's influence.
Would you see someone's soul denied the Maker's light just for the misfortune of having been born outside the Chantry's influence? Everyone deserves redemption, my friend.
Who's in charge here?
The revered mother presides over the Chantry, and Sir Bryant leads the few Templars guarding us.
I should go.
May the Maker watch over you.
You ever wonder if that's an accurate likeness of Andraste? Maybe she was ugly. Maybe she had buck teeth.
And then shall the Chant of Light make it pure.
Praying for help from a prophet they burned, and a god who has turned his back on them not once, but twice.
Only the word dispels the
Big on religion, Morrigan is.
And when the Maker spoke,
yeah.
Chant of Light scattered in the darkness.
Yep, we know.
Word dispelled.
I'm sorry, I cannot talk now. I must feed the holy brazier to ensure the flame never dies.
What is the significance of the brazier?
It represents the flames that burned Andraste herself. Do you know the tale?
I know all Chantries keep a fire to honor her death.
The prophet was burned in the ancient city of Minrathous, before the ancient mages she had fought. Instead of dying in pain as the mages wanted, she was purified by the fire and taken by the Maker into the heavens to stand forever at his side. We are all sinners. The fire symbolizes our hope that forgiveness is possible. Thus, we all serve by feeding its flames.
Tempting. So, if I sin, I should just set myself on fire?
Don't be ridiculous. It is a symbol and not meant to be taken literally. Now go and leave me to my task.
He did not like my joke. I don't understand why.
Let those who cry out from the shadows be comforted. Let those who seek redemption be delivered. Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
As a nice change from all this Chantry stuff, Adventures of the Black Fox. Born Lord Remy Vascal in 863 Blessed, the Black Fox was a dashing thief and rogue who went on to inspire so many tales of his exploits that it is nearly impossible to determine today which are true and which are merely fabricated legend. Despite coming from nobility, he has become something of a hero of the common people. His initial exploits involved ridiculing the tyrannical and powerful lord of Val Chevan. Wearing a mask, he would appear in public and disrupt the lord's plans to the point that the lord angrily put a huge bounty on the life of this cunning fox, the origin of the nickname, which stuck. That the primary bounty hunter who took the job, Carolus, ended up becoming Remy's lifelong partner in crime, only after nearly killing him several times, is one of the most popular tales told in taverns today. The story is often exaggerated to make Remy appear initially buffoonish, until Carolus becomes so furious at the Black Fox's inexplicable ability to survive that the cunning Remy gains the upper hand, which impresses Carolus so much that the bounty hunter joins him. After years of terrorizing the Lord's men and foiling his tax collectors, a favorite pastime of Remy's according to the Orlesian commoners, Remy was supposedly betrayed by his lover Servana de Montfort, in some versions of the tale a mage of the circle no less, and captured. After more than a year of torture, Remy was rescued from prison by his compatriots, including a repentant Servana, and together they escaped Orlais. In this period of Remy's adventures, he appears almost everywhere in Thedas. As his legend grew, more innkeepers and merchants were happy to claim that the Black Fox had visited their village or establishment and performed some legendary feat. If the tales are to be believed, Remy led the Lord's men on a merry chase. He became embroiled in political intrigue in Navarra, was hunted by the crows of Antiva, and then kidnapped by a powerful mage in Tevinter. In each situation, Remy escaped death at the last moment, foiled the evildoer, and improved life for the poor and downtrodden. Then, inevitably, he rejoined his band of adventurers and moved on to the next land. His companions Carolus and Servana, the wise dwarf Bolek, and the tempestuous knight Sir Clementus have each spawned their own individual legends over the years. The stories all agree that at some point the Black Fox disappeared. He and his fellow adventurers voyaged into the heart of the Arlathan forest, seeking the sunken city of the elves, and never returned. Many more are the tales that expand on what ultimately happened to them in that forest, and postulate on how they could someday be rescued. From The Adventures of the Black Fox by Gaston Geralt, 911 Dragon. So, something non-Chantry related. Oh look, a chest. I'm sure that the maker won't have a problem with us robbing the Chantry and taking a symbol of Andraste. That's nothing bad with that, right? Okay. Nothing much going on out here, except for very chatty dudes out here.
To the Black City in heaven.
We'll be coming back here in a little bit.
Light make it pure. Let all mankind
and we used a key and we opened this cabinet and we took out not a lot. Well, thanks for that, Sir Bryant. That was all you could do, really. I guess the part where he didn't turn us in was probably good too. Here's a book.
As you wish.
The Imperial Chantry. There are those who would tell you that the Chantry is the same everywhere as it is here, that the divine in Val Royeaux reigns supreme in the eyes of the Maker, and that this fact is unquestioned throughout Thedas. Do not believe it. The Maker's second commandment, magic must serve man, not rule over him, never held the same meaning within the ancient Tevinter Imperium as it did elsewhere. The Chantry there interpreted the rule as meaning that mages should never control the minds of other men, and that otherwise their magic should benefit the rulers of men as much as possible. When the clerics of Tevinter altered the Chant of Light to reflect this interpretation of the commandment, the divine in Val Royeaux ordered the clerics to revert to the original chant. They refused, claiming corruption in Val Royeaux, an argument that grew until in 487 Towers, the Chantry in Tevinter elected its own legitimate and uncorrupted divine, Valhael, who was not only male, but also happened to be one of the most prominent members of the Tevinter Circle of Magi. This black divine was reviled outside Tevinter, his existence an offense to the Chantry in Val Royeaux. After 4 exalted marches to dislodge these rebels, all that the Chantry in Val Royeaux accomplished was to cement the separation. While most aspects of the Imperial Chantry's teaching are the same, prohibitions against magic have been weakened, and male priests have become more prevalent. The Circle of the Magi today rules Tevinter directly, ever since the Archon Nomoran was elected in 734 Storm, directly from the ranks of the enchanters, to great applause from the public. He dispensed with the old rules forbidding mages from taking part in politics, and within a century the true rulers within the various imperial houses, the mages, took their places openly within the government. The imperial divine is now always drawn from the ranks of the first enchanters, and operates as divine and grand enchanter both. This is utter heresy to any member of the Chantry outside of Tevinter, a return to the days of the Magisters which brought the blights down upon us. But it exists, and even though we have left the Tevinter Imperium to the mercies of the dread Kunari, still they have endured. Further confrontation between the Black Divine and our so-called White Divine is inevitable. From Edicts of the Black Divine by Father David of Carinus? I don't know. We'll go with that. Carinus. 811 Blessed. You know, it's a Q without a U afterwards, so that always kind of trips me up a little bit. Alright, so that was a book there. We could talk to the Revered Mother. We're going to have to come back and talk to her again in a little bit anyway, but we'll say hi. Hi, Revered Mother. What's up?
Will you be making a donation to the Chantry, my friend? You look like you have salvaged more of value than most who make it here.
Who are you?
I am the revered mother of this Chantry. Traditionally, those who seek my blessing tithe first.
What tithe is acceptable?
Might I suggest 30 silver?
Very well. 30 silver it is.
Thank you, dear woman. What can I do for you, then?
I am a Grey Warden. I need your help.
A Grey Warden? Here? Oh dear. You put me in a difficult position. You must know that Tairn Loghain declared the Grey Wardens to be outlaws.
So I've heard, but it is Loghain who betrayed the king.
Tairn Loghain? That is as hard for me to believe as his condemnation of the Wardens. There is a price on your head. Lay low, and I promise to keep your presence a secret. That is the best I can do. Now, if there is nothing else?
Can you provide any help to the Grey Wardens at all?
I cannot help you without risking the safety of this village in Chantry. The best I can do is keep your presence a secret. I am sorry. Now, if there is nothing else?
Now, if there is nothing else. I was hoping to receive your blessing as a good little Ondrastian, as the human noble would have been raised.
For a Grey Warden? Yes. You have a difficult road to walk, don't you?
You don't know the half of it, lady.
In Andraste's name, I call upon the Maker to watch over his child and creation. Watch over her path, O Maker. Give her light in darkness. So let it be. Now, if there is nothing else?
I should go.
May the Maker guard you, Grey Warden.
Hope so. Yep, Morrigan disapproves. We donated to the Chantry.
To the ears of the Maker. Let him hear our
Morrigan thinks that whatever money we have in our pockets should stay in our pockets.
Stop looking at me, mongrel. I have nothing you want.
Oh, don't call
Why
him
do
a
you
mongrel.
keep staring at me so, you flea-ridden beast? Can you not tell when you are not wanted? I enjoy company of creatures of the wild, not stench-ridden domesticated wolves. And he persists. Maddening!
So basically, the Mabari was trolling Morrigan, which is kind of great. She had it coming. Alright, well, that was plenty of time in Chantry. Let's move on, shall we? We have some interesting things to do and learn. So. Alright, we've already talked to everyone here. Let's get a little more action in here. Let's head over to the tavern.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail, I was recruited into the Grey Wardens.
And if you had not been recruited, what would have happened instead?
I would have turned into a drooling lunatic, slaughtered the Grand Cleric, and run through the streets of Denham in my small clothes, I guess.
Your self-awareness does you credit.
I thought you'd like that.
Their banters are the best. Okay, let's go over here. There is a mod that I actually want to get, which turns this guy here into Hawk, because Hawk from the second games. Hey, Julia. Hawk from the second game is actually, the Hawk family is actually in Lothering at this point. Because if you look at the timelines, they are leaving Lothering. You know, they live in Lothering, and they're leaving shortly after the Wardens pass through. So they would be here at this point. So there's a couple of different mods that make it so that the Hawk family actually turns up in various places in Lothering, which is cool. I just haven't gotten it yet. Yeah, I think it's neat. I think it's a nice touch to have them be there, you know. But I haven't added that one yet. I have so many mods that I'm always a little bit careful when I add a new one that it doesn't cause the whole thing to explode. So.
You might not want to go in. Tavern's full, and those soldiers are being a nuisance.
Soldiers?
They're not here to defend us. They were looking for someone before they started drinking. I hear they almost killed a man because they didn't like his face. I wonder if they're deserters from the King's army.
You seem unhappy.
Is there any reason to be happy?
Valid.
With the King dead, them Darkspawn will overrun Lothering before anyone can organise. You'd think those soldiers could at least run off the bandits. I hear someone gave them what they deserved. Wasn't you, was it?
It was, actually. That was me.
It was? Hey, everyone! This is the one who drove out those thieving bastards! More will probably come, but it's good to know some justice is left here. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, I saw Julia is just finished up doing a...
yesterday? Said he was from Redcliffe.
They're talking.
He talked to everyone in the tavern. How are we supposed to know where the urn of sacred ashes is? Might as well ask us how to get to the moon. He said that all the Redcliffe knights were looking for it, as if they didn't have anything better to do. I don't get it.
Yeah, Julia just finished up doing a recording of a full playthrough for the 10th anniversary of Origins, and so she just got through that, and that the mod with putting the Hawk family into Lothering is some that she used in her playthrough, and that's one of the I've seen them on Nexus, but I hadn't really thought much about it, and then I heard you talking about it. I was like, that actually is a really cool idea. So, what could we possibly find in the tavern? I'm on pins and needles. Soldiers.
Well, look what we have here, men. I think we've just been blessed.
Well, I am pretty cool.
Loghain's men. This can't be good.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about a woman by this very description, and everyone said they hadn't seen her?
It seems we were lied to.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for trouble. These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
Rude. What makes you think we're traitors?
Teyrn Loghain claims the Grey Wardens betrayed the king. Or haven't you heard?
Enough talk! Take the warden into custody. Kill this sister and anyone else that gets in your way.
Nice guys.
Let's make this quick.
Oh, it'll be quick, alright. Loghain Forces Commander. Alright. Let's mark him. And... kill everyone! I mean, kill all the bad guys.
You stop win! Alright! Battle is there! Easy enough.
Go! Let's grab some
All right, you've won. We surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
She's so positive. Oh good, we're done fighting. We can all be friends now. The Grey Wardens didn't betray King Cailan. Loghain did.
I was there. The Teyrn pulled us out of a trap.
The Teyrn left the king to die.
The Wardens led the king to his death. The Teyrn could do nothing.
Take a message to Loghain.
What do you want to tell him?
He'll pay for what he's done. We're coming for him.
I'll tell him. Right away, now. Thank you.
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help.
So I see. Where does a sister learn to fight like that?
I wasn't born in the Chantry, you know. Many of us had more colorful lives before we joined. Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was.
I am River, a pleasure.
Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey Wardens do. I know after what happened, you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along.
You're who in the what now? Why so eager to come with me?
The Maker told me to.
Right. I believe this is where I back away slowly.
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
I need more than prayers, I'm afraid.
I can fight. I can do more than fight. As I said, I was not always a lay sister. I put aside that life when I came here. But now, if it is the Maker's will, I will take it up again. Gladly. Please let me help you.
Very well. I will not turn away help when it is offered.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you. I appreciate being given this chance. I will not let you down.
Alright. So, now we have Liliana as one of our party. So let us accept. And let us immediately go into her abilities. And in the tactics screen. And turn off Song of Valor. Never, never use it. One thing that you can do is that you can change these abilities to game mode combat. So they will only turn their abilities on when they are in combat rather than just all the time. I like to set it so that they actually turn them back off again, just because they then do not have... Sorry, I can't read this and talk at the same time. She's an archer. We're gonna set her up as a archer, and I should have done that before I just clicked this, because now it is reset. So we're gonna change this right here to... we're just gonna turn that off. And the reason that I do that is not that Song of Valor is in itself a bad ability, it's that I cannot handle the fact that every other time you turn around, you hear Liliana going, "Ah!" I hate to break this to you, Liliana. That is not a song. That is just yelling. So yeah, I can't do it. I'm pretty sure there are mods where you can turn specific sounds off, and I really should go for that, but I have not done so yet, so... Anyway, while I'm looking at this, I do want to change it so that Alistair uses this when he is in combat, and that he turns... we'll leave that good. That's fine for now. Alright, so now we have a Liliana, and Liliana needs to have some gear that's not one dagger and a Chantry robe. So it's not really going to do the trick for her. So, we actually have a piece from the DLC that is... something that is from you get actually from doing the DLC that is called Liliana's Song. Once you've completed that DLC, you get this item, Battle Dress of the Provocateur, and it happens to be a really good item for Liliana, so we're gonna give that to her, as well as the smugglers, bracers, and boots that we picked up from the bandits outside. So there's that, and we'll give her a leather helm, but we'll put it in the hidden slot. And now we will give her some accessories. Let's go with chance to dodge attacks. We'll give her that one, and we're gonna have to get some better rings, but also we're gonna get her, since her abilities are a lot of archer type stuff, she also has the ability to pickpocket, basically, so that's fun. We should put that sort of in the middle. The crafting abilities I like to put at the far end so I don't accidentally click on them when I'm trying to not. So this is a sustained ability. And we've got... I can mess with this later. Another sustained ability. We've got dirty fighting. We've got below the belt. Those are melee. We've got pinning shot, crippling shot, and shattering shot. And so those are all attacks, and this is a debuff. Alright, so we've got her that. I will give her, I think, this ring just because that's the one I have. It's not very good for her, but it's something for now. And we're going to give her another dagger, but then we're also going to give her a bow in her other weapon set, and I think we're going to go ahead and give her that one because, I don't know, it suits her. So, alright. So Julia's saying that of the mods that offer the option of having Hawk and Lothering, improved atmosphere of Ferelden, an improved atmosphere version, it looks like, had it, but she was having issues with IA, which improved atmosphere is an amazing mod, but it is very, very involved. So if you're going to use improved atmosphere, you need to follow the install instructions very carefully because it's really, really involved, and you can make it, you can cause a lot of issues if you don't do it properly with things like having your, you know, things not show up where they're supposed to, or you know, crashes and all kinds of stuff. But then there is one called Lothering Hawk of Ferelden, which I think is the one that I saw. Yeah, improved atmosphere being such a popular mod, there are a lot of mods that either are built to work around it or that have alternate versions that let you work around it. But it can cause a lot of issues. So it's one of those, that's the thing with mods, is that you kind of have to do the give and take between how much do I want this and how much do I want to fight with it. So, but yeah, the other one is was called, she says, Lothering Hawk of Ferelden, and I do want to add that. I think that's cool, but I have not done so yet. So I actually was talking on Twitter today to someone who had some really cool mods for Morrigan that I want to try. I am using a Morrigan mod that changes her outfit just because she's in a cold place and her outfit that she originally wears is stupid. I'm sorry, it just is. It's not actually clothing in any way. Like, I have no problem with her showing some skin. I just have a problem with an outfit that would not actually function. So I'm definitely using a clothing mod for her. And then I have a True Lore version of her face that I use too. But yeah, I saw some other ones and I was like, that's actually really cool. What do we have going on? Something is turned on and it's making us glow and be all glittery, and I don't want that. Yeah. That is the other reason why I don't like it. And we're going to turn off Alistair's. Oh, okay. It's off. Good. Alright, so we got a guy over here that wants to talk to us.
As I live and breathe, you're the Grey Warden everyone's been talking about.
And now it's a random bystander Jowan. I shouldn't do that. The voice acting is good. I don't mean to disparage his abilities at all. It's just that he has a very distinctive voice and it stands out to me. But anyway, is there something I can do for you?
I represent the Blackstone Irregulars. We're a mercenary company that fell on hard times after the war with Orlais. I'm sure you know that times are getting worse every day.
True story.
With your help, the Irregulars could be of use to Ferelden once more.
How can I be of service?
Our leaders thought you might be willing to help. Each of our posts in Ferelden will contain letters addressed to you. Unlike most who work with us, you're getting letters straight from Raelnor and Tauran, our leaders.
Well,
I hope this tells you how highly the Irregulars regard the Grey Wardens.
I'll take a look.
Thank you. When you've completed a mission, just return to me or any of our members stationed at an Irregulars post. We'll make sure your efforts are rewarded. Maker's blessings light your path.
Alright, so the Blackstone Irregulars is one set of quests that you can pick up in various areas around Ferelden. The other one is a mages group, and we haven't got that one yet, but this is the first one. It functions kind of like the Chanter's board that we just found, where you open it up and it'll show you different missions. They tend to be missions that take place over different areas of Ferelden, so not just in one place. So it's good to pick them up as soon as you can, because you this one especially, scraping the barrel, there's a dude that you need to talk to who's in Lothering, and without a mod, after a certain point you will not be able to come back to Lothering, so you won't be able to finish the quest if you don't talk to him before you leave. So it's good to pick those quests up as soon as possible. So yes, it's when you're working with mods, you have to make sure that Andrastini's mods, or Teeny Mouse, as she goes by on Nexus, her mods have to work. Whatever else mods you can get to put in, but you know, it is great, but you have to have Teeny's Alistair mods, or it's just not worth playing at that point. So yeah, anyway, we're picking up the mods here, and we're picking up the missions here, and this one is saying that there are people that you need to talk to basically, sorry, I'm distracted. Mods, people that you need to talk to because they've been not fulfilling their oaths to the Blackstone Irregulars, so you need to keep them from deserting, basically. So that's the first one. And oh no, that one's just they need to show up. This one is the deserters. So this is saying there's some people who have deserted and taken supplies, so we need to get them. And they're in this one, they're in Redcliffe, Lothering, and Denerim. This one, they're in Lake Kellenhad, Denerim, and the Frostback Mountains. Something to know about these quests is that you will take them early on, but you'll not be able to finish them all for quite some time because you can't get to all of those locations where they are right away. So it's just something that is going to be in your quest log that you can do as you go, basically. So we have taken the Blackstone Irregulars missions. There's a codex about it, which is basically just the letters that you're passing out, which is basically saying you've been conscripted, you need to show up, you know, say bye to your folks and turn up where you're supposed to be. And then this is the other one, that's the letter coming to us from the leader of, he says, to the inimitable Grey Warden, your deeds have spread since the tragedy of Ostagar. Which, I mean, we haven't done a whole lot yet, but sure, okay. I find myself in need of one such as you. I am Raelnor, captain of the venerable Blackstone Irregulars, and I hope to win your trust. The Irregulars have come on hard times since the war with Orlais, but I have fought to improve their reputation. Gone are the days of my father's shady deals with unscrupulous nobles in Denerim. No, I have trained a guild filled with honorable men ready to fight for Ferelden, and I am proud to say that I have seen your own Grey Wardens as a sort of model. We are not perfect. My own son advocates a move back to the more lucrative way my father ran the guild. But we are steadfast. It is in this context that I ask for your help, and I promise we will reward you accordingly. Should you be willing, please find letters in this box and others like it all over the land, and carry out the requests therein. For this matter, consider requests from my son as if they came from myself. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart, whether you choose to assist us or not. You are doing the Maker's work, Warden, and I am honored to work with you. Raelnor. Well, isn't that nice? Alright, so we've talked with him. We've got some refugees and sisters over here that are just going to give us little, hey, what's up?
I'm trying to listen to the bard's song. Can we speak when they're done?
Do you mind trying to listen?
I just play what the innkeep asks. We need his coin to travel north.
Please, I must continue playing, else I earn no coin tonight.
What are you playing? Because it looks to me like you're just sitting on the floor.
Please, I must continue playing, else I earn no coin.
Who am I to
tonight.
judge? Moving on. Let's talk to this guy.
You're here about food. Take it up with that bleeding runt by the Chantry. I got other gear to sell.
You're out of food.
A whole mess of refugees come in and leave near every night. All have hungry bellies, sad tales, and mementos for barter. I sold that bleeding merchant outside about half my larder 2 weeks back, and now he's charging outrageous sums for all my food.
Don't worry about him. I took care of it.
You did? Well, I don't know what to say to that. Thanks.
Show me what you've got. And we look through here. He's got a lot of traps and gear for making traps. He's got some weapons that I'm probably not going to buy. Although I notice he has a Kunari helm. In this game... Oh, we've got some gifts here. We'll buy that. In this game, Kunari can wear armor, the same armor as everyone else. In Inquisition, though, they wear specific gear for Kunari, which is actually really cool. But it hadn't been implemented yet at this point. So, let's see. What do we have for dog? Right now, he's wearing damage versus beasts. We definitely want to replace that. 2 dexterity. Yeah, let's try that one. And Amulet of Accord reduces hostility. That's always handy. And this is a gift for Morrigan. This is a gift for someone we don't have yet. And this is a gift in general. Okay. In the meantime, we can sell off this plain bow. And that's probably it right now. Oh. Liliana's Chantry robe. What do we have on Morrigan? I should check. And, oh cool, thank you, Julia. I am being hosted. Very exciting. So, let's see here. We've got her basic robes on her, which I think are better than most of what we're going to have right now. So, we're going to go ahead and sell. We'll hold on to that one. 9 defense and 4 armor. That is pretty good. We'll just hang out to these for now. I'll make up my mind later. And we're good there. Okay. Now, since I have some folks in my party, I'm going to go ahead and give some gifts. The way that you do that is, the way that you do that is to open your inventory. You can do it, you can give them gifts in camp or anywhere else, wherever you are feeling it. If you notice, each character has this gauge at the bottom of their portrait, and it shows that on the one end is a broken heart symbol, on the other end is a golden heart symbol, and this basically shows how much they like you, how much they approve of you. So right now, Alistair is at neutral. You can gain approval from these characters by giving them gifts, by doing things that they like, which I have lost some approval from Morrigan, as we saw earlier, from giving people, helping them out, because heaven forbid we do that. Oh, I should put Alistair's weapons back on. Whoops! Or flip them. His weapons were on. I just had to switch back to the alternate weapon set. Actually, I think we'll go ahead and give him the family sword for now, and that way I won't have to worry about getting rid of it by accident. So, anyway. So yes, we see that he likes us. He's at +10. Morgan is at -5, so that's no good. If your party members get their approval gets too low, some of them will actually leave. So we definitely don't want that. The good thing about that, the thing that makes it easier, is there is actually a DLC called Feast Day Pranks and Gifts, which once you get to a point where you can go to your party camp, you can purchase these gifts that basically allow you to raise or lower the approval as you wish. I don't tend to use them that often because I am compulsively nice to the NPCs, so I usually am able to get them to have high approval, but it is there as an option if you find that you actually, if you just can't help ticking someone off. So but anyway, if you have gifts that you want to give them, you go to the gifts there, you find the one that's for them, and you just drag it onto their portrait.
I am grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
And now she's at +5 instead of -5. Yay! This one's for Liliana, because our mod tells us that it's for Liliana, conveniently enough. And we will give that to her.
That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say.
All of these are for anyone. So since Morrigan is the one who tends to like us the least, we will go ahead and give her a gift right now.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
There is sort of a diminishing returns with gifts if you give too many gifts kind of at once. Like that one gave us +4.
Interesting.
That one only gave us +3. So we don't want to give too many at once, generally speaking, unless they're specifically for that person, and even then you kind of want to split it up a little bit. It's I think it's that the NPCs kind of catch on. If you're like, here, have this, and also this, and have this. You like me, right? How about now? How about have this, and now do you like me? So it's good to split it up a little bit. Now we also see that old Barlin here has a quest.
About food. Take it up with that bleeding runt by the Chantry.
Yeah, you already told us that.
I've got other gear to sell.
Know of any well-paying work in Lothering?
Check the Chanter's board by the Chantry. There's good jobs there. I don't suppose you know anything about poison?
I have dabbled in such things.
I figured if I kept asking, I'd find someone. I'd pay good coin for some simple poison. Something to slow them beasties down or make them think twice.
Any idea where I could get ingredients?
Well, there's herbs in the North Wood. As for other stuff, look around town. Some refugees just left things behind to travel faster. I don't really know what you need, though. I might have some in stock, too.
Farewell. So now we have a quest to make poison, which I have the ability to make poison. We have Alistair, who has no crafting skill.
What
we have
now?
Morrigan, who has herbalism. I really should sort out these bars at some point here, but Morrigan has herbalism, and Liliana also has poison making. So we do not have anybody that can make traps, however, at this point. So let's talk to the bartender.
Wanna make more trouble? We've about all we can stand in Lothering now.
Sorry about the mess.
They had it coming, and they were trouble enough themselves. So long as you don't start more, I won't get excited. Right then, name's Denial. Sorry I can't chat much. As you see, we've a full house.
Who were those men I fought exactly?
When Tian Logain marched by, he left those fellas behind to look for Grey Wardens. I suppose that's you.
You'll keep that to yourself.
I have no qualm with you, whatever the Tian says. My grandfather served. Your secret's safe with me. What can I get you then?
I don't suppose you have any rooms?
Look around. People are sleeping on the floors and in the attic. That's how many rooms I don't have.
Have you heard any rumors? You're a bartender, you should know everything, right? That's how this works.
With King Kaelin dead, the throne falls to Queen Ondra. She's made her father the regent, however, at least for now. I think Kaelin's father, old King Merrick, would have approved. Anything else I can get you?
I don't think he would have, actually, what with the whole part where his son died. But that's fine, we'll leave that alone and move on. Any other rumors?
I hear tell they held a funeral in Denerim for King Caelan. The Grand Cleric called for a full day of mourning, and there was a procession a mile long passing by the brazier. It's too bad they don't have a body to properly burn. What happened to him at the hands of those creatures, it's unthinkable. Anything else I can get you?
It is unthinkable, although I find myself distracted by this giant bottle on your counter. No. The proportion on that bottle, you got to admit, is a little off. I don't think he's actually serving from a bottle that's as long as his torso. It's a bit much. Heard any other rumors?
I hear news from Denerim that Tyrn Logain has been declared the new regent. It makes sense, his daughter being the queen. Anything else I can get you?
Any other rumors?
I heard from some travelers that something bad might have happened in Redcliffe, overrun by Darkspawn, maybe. There's no word from the village at all.
Uh-oh.
Merchant friend of mine said he encountered someone fleeing the place and there was nothing waiting for him there but death. He wisely turned around and came right back. Anything else I can get you?
Heard any other rumors?
I hear that Tyrn Logain, the regent, is calling for new levies of troops. He wants to rebuild the army we lost at Ostagar. Thing is, there's not a lot of spare men to be found. Out of Dragon's Peak, there's press gangs roaming around, grabbing any free man they can lay their hands on. Anything else I can get you?
Anything else?
I hear the Dwarven King is passed on. Old as he was probably poisoned or assassinated. That's how the dwarves normally go out, isn't it? Anything else I can get you? Thank the Maker we didn't lose Tyrn Logain at Ostagar. He pulled his troops out just in time, so it said. Without him, we'd be lost. Anything else I can get you?
Any other?
There's knights from Redcliffe spread all over Ferelden on some kind of mission, but I hear that they're starting to become rare to find. Maybe they all went back to Redcliffe. More likely they got tired of searching for something that can't be found and abandoned their search. I wonder what Earl Eamon is going to do without any knights. Anything else I can get you? Something's going on at the Mage's Tower at Lake Callanhod. Nobody knows exactly what, though, and the Templars aren't saying. Exactly what we need, isn't it? Let's hope the mages are just cooking up something to deal with the Darkspawn. Somebody should be, after all.
True story.
Anything else I can get you? I hear from folks traveling the East Roads that there's werewolves in the Brazilian forest. Actual werewolves. They haven't been around since the days of Dane and his ilk. Anything else I can get you? There's a nasty rumour going around that the Grey Wardens are evil and that they worship the Archdemon.
Oh.
They're the ones that cause the blight.
How
They
dare
were getting
you?
upset, see? That there was no use for them anymore, so they summoned up the Archdemon to do their bidding. It would explain a great many things. Anything else I can get you?
You take that back, sir.
With a defeat at Ostagar, it'll be inevitable that the Darkspawn hordes start moving north soon. They have no one standing in their way, do they? Anything else I can get you? Some hunters who range into the Brazilian forest say that a Dalish clan there has fallen to some kind of sickness. The blight, most likely, poor sods. Anything else I can get you? There's talk that King Caelan was cheating on the Queen and she found out about it. That's why Tyrn Logain abandoned Caelan at Ostagar. Anything else I can get you? I'm hearing many tales of corpses clawing out of their graves. All over. Not just people either. Animals too. Just yesterday, a farmer told me about the kitten his daughter had buried behind his barn. Little thing came back to life and crawled up, mewling as loud as you please. His daughter was delighted. At least until it just about chewed her finger off.
Ew.
Strange days, I tell you.
I think he made
Anything
that
else
up.
I can get you? Some folks aren't happy about Tyrn Logain being named regent. There are rumours he had something to do with the king's death. Isn't that the most ridiculous thing you ever heard? The Darkspawn killed him, sure enough. If Tyrn Logain couldn't save the king from that end, then nobody could. Anything else I can get you?
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't know what to tell you. Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Well, we've exhausted his supply of rumors. And unfortunately, we've heard that everywhere we need to go has something terrible happening. We know that we have to go to Redcliffe, and something terrible is happening there, and the Arl is sick. We have to go to see the dwarves, and their king just died. We have to go to the mages, and they're having some kind of trouble going on there with possibly the Rite of Annulment, and we have to go to the Brazilian forest, and apparently there are werewolves and sickness. So, great! To make myself feel better, I'm going to break into the kitchen and steal their stuff. Because, what's our motto? Never have too much elf fruit.
This should be easy enough.
A shield that I can promptly sell, because it's not going to do me any good. And something else to sell. Okay, moving on. Morrigan. Get out of... Get out of the way, Morrigan. We're trying to make progress here. You're impeding our path. Alright, so we leave. Because I want to make sure that we get one more thing in before the end of today's stream. So we're team building. Today's session is an exercise in team building. We have one more team.
So Terran Logain is the
build.
new regent? Isn't that a good thing? I heard that he may have had something to do with the king's death.
He did!
I thought Darkspawn killed the king. That doesn't make any sense.
It's probably political nonsense.
Oh, that's true.
We'll be lucky if they don't burn down the entire country fighting over the throne.
I'm doing my best. Okay, anyway. Let's go over here. There's a chest back here, I believe. Nope, just kidding. People to talk to who don't have anything interesting to say, for the most part. Well, apparently there's a person here who has the ability to hover. I mean, I guess that's one way to get away from the Darkspawn. Good for you, lady. See, that's the beautiful thing about mods. Alright.
Hello, stranger. I don't suppose you know anyone that can make traps?
What do you need traps for?
Old man Barlin said that Darkspawn may be coming soon. He's got traps on his farm. I figured I'd put a few on my lands. Barlin wants to poison his traps. I just want normal traps.
Why don't you just buy some?
None to be had. Barlin has all the traps in the village in his fields.
Sorry, I can't make traps.
I didn't mean to bother you. Sorry.
I very rarely get that mission because, generally speaking,
This should be easy enough.
Don't have somebody who has trap making at this point. But, so we're gonna go around here.
Have a care where your eyes linger, Alistair.
Yes, well, don't worry. It's not what you think.
I see.
I was looking at your nose.
And what is it about my nose that captivates you so?
I was just thinking that it looks exactly like your mother's.
I hate you so much.
Hmm? What?
Never mind.
I love that. What? What? Why? I don't... Their banter is the best. Okay. There's something we can loot back here. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and go poking around in this pile of filth for a mushroom. Why not? Yeah, I know. They just, their interactions are just the best. I actually have a fic that I've been working on. That's actually the fic based on Origins is almost finished, and I have so much fun writing their interactions. Just because they are so snarky all the time.
You got a bed for the night. You taken care of.
Actually, I was more hoping I could help you.
Don't need blades right now. We need beds, food, and an end to all these sad sots. I don't suppose you know anything of tonics, medicines, or herbs.
I don't, but my friend does. Friend might be a strong word at this point in the game, but this mage here with me does.
Then you may be able to do us a lot of good. All manner of travellers come through, many injured or sick. We do our best, but we're out of supplies. There's medicinal herbs in the woods to the north. If you make a few poultices, I'll scrape together some sort of payment. I'll write all you need to know in this note here.
Alright. So we have a new quest. We have a quest to make poison and a quest to make traps. And we're going to rob her while we're passing by. I'm sure she won't mind.
How dare you accuse me of thievery? I saw you take the supplies from my car.
Oops.
You marsh folk are all thieves and liars!
Racist.
Enough! People here are already desperate and frightened. They don't need you two coming to blows.
Yeah.
But what about my food? I said enough!
What about my food? So yes, we just got a codex entry about the Chastened, which is probably in here. Yeah, the Chastened. The Chastened Wilders have lived in the Korkari Wilds since the first wars with the Alamari drove them southward a millennium ago. According to their own lore, they had always been a forest-dwelling people that adapted quickly to their new home. Game and fish are plentiful in the wetlands, and the Chastened thrived. For a time, they and the hill-dwelling Avars were true threats to the northern lowlands. The Tevinter Imperium had arrived and was hard-pressed to keep back the waves of invasions from the south and the west. The fortress of Ostagar was built specifically to watch for Chastened hordes venturing north of the tree line. It was not until the legendary warrior Hafter soundly defeated the Chastened in the first half of the Divine Age that the question of their ability to contest the lowlands was settled permanently. Today, the Chastened are considered largely peaceful, though their ways are still primitive compared to our own. In the Korkari Wilds, they live in strange-looking huts built on stilts or even built into the great treetops. They paint their faces and are split into small tribes ruled by shamans like those amongst the Avars. There are many tales of these shamans having learned their magic from the Witches of the Wilds, witches that inspire as much terror as they do awe and gratitude, even if there is no definitive proof they exist. Well, I mean, we might have a little proof, is all I'm saying. In particular, the tale of Flemeth, the greatest witch of the wilds, is celebrated amongst all tribes. While there is no way to know how many there are in the wilds today, few travelers that pass through the forest tell of Chastened eking out an existence even in the frozen wastelands of the far south. One can assume that should the Chastened ever organize themselves once more, we might have reason to fear them here in Ferelden. We ignore them at our peril. From Sister Patrine. So, alright, well. Oh, look. It's an autosave. Oh, look. It's a cage.
Basitisra, Marad starit, Merad twasit, Abana kyun, Maras shokra, Anan kyun.
So, as you can see, I have a mod for Sten that's based on the looks of the Qunari in Dragon Age 2.
You aren't one of my captors.
I remember the revered mother mentioning this man. She called him a savage from the far north.
I will not amuse you any more than I have the other humans. Leave me in peace.
You're a prisoner? Who put you here?
I'm in a cage, am I not? I've been placed here by the Chantry.
The revered mother said he slaughtered an entire family, even the children.
It is as she says. I am Sten of the Beresad, the vanguard of the Qunari peoples.
I'm River. Pleased to meet you.
You mock me. Or you show manners I have not come to expect in your lands. Though it matters little now. I will die soon enough.
Are you just going to leave him here? To die like an animal? This is too cruel a punishment, even for a murderer.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but Qunari are renowned warriors. If we could release him, perhaps he might help us.
This is a proud and powerful creature trapped as prey for the Darkspawn. If you cannot see a use for him, I suggest releasing him for mercy's sake alone.
Mercy? I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
I suggest you leave me to my fate.
Tell me about why you're here.
I have been convicted of murder. Have the villagers not spoken of this?
Who did you murder?
The people of a farmhold. 8 humans, in addition to the children.
Are you guilty?
Are you asking if I feel guilt or if I am responsible for the deed? However I feel, whatever I've done, my life is forfeit now.
How long have you been here?
20 days now. I shouldn't last much longer, another week at most.
It's a long time to live without food or water.
Compared to your kind, maybe.
Capturing you must have been difficult.
There is no difficulty in capturing prey that surrenders.
You didn't resist capture?
I waited for several days until the knights arrived.
Why?
Because I wished to.
What an odd thing to do.
Either you have an enviable memory or a pitiable life to know nothing of regret.
That's such a good quote. Aren't you interested in seeking atonement?
Death will be my atonement.
There are other ways to redeem yourself.
Perhaps. What does your wisdom say is equal to my crime?
You could help me defend the land against the Blight.
The Blight? Are you a Grey Warden, then?
Yes, I am.
Surprising. My people have heard legends of the Grey Warden's strength and skill. Though I suppose not every legend is true.
Rude! Would the revered mother let you free?
Perhaps if you told her the Grey Wardens need my assistance. It seems as likely to bring my death as waiting here.
I'll leave you for now.
Farewell, then.
To be left here to starve? Or to be taken by the Darkspawn? No one deserves that. Not even a murderer.
A penitent man left to be torn to pieces by Darkspawn is a fine example of the Chantry's mercy, is it not?
So, now we go back to the revered mother. And say, hey, oh, she's still floating. Okay. That's a new one. I haven't seen that before.
So tell me something, Morrigan. Did you live there in that forest your entire life?
I left it on occasion, but I always returned. Why? Is that so strange? It was my home.
But it was just you and your mother there? No one else?
Mother occasionally had company.
What? Company? Do I even want to ask?
No, you really don't.
Now I do, though. Now I'm curious. You gotta wonder what kind of company Flemeth had for Morgan to phrase it that way. Unless she's just messing with Alistair, which is entirely possible. Alright. We have just enough time to get in here, talk to the revered mother, and go remove Sten from the cage. Assuming the revered mother is fine with it. I mean, who knows? Anything could happen. It's not as if I've played this before.
The Maker spoke. Chant of Light.
Alright, revered mother. What's up?
Good day, Sister Leliana. I'm surprised to see you're still in Lothering.
It is good to see you as well, Your Reverence.
Is there something I can do for you, then?
I want to talk about Sten, the Kunari you imprisoned.
It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you?
What did he do?
He butchered an entire farmhold. Only one of the youngest hid long enough to survive. The child said his father had found the Kunari gravely wounded and took him in. That kindness was repaid with murder. The bandsman found the Kunari just standing amidst the carnage. He did not resist them.
What would make him do such a thing?
He would not say, though he acknowledged his guilt. Even the seasoned knights who apprehended him were disturbed by the carnage. However docile he appears, do not be fooled. That Kunari is a danger.
Is there any way I can convince you to release him?
Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers.
I was thinking you might release him into my custody.
And what do you say on this, Leliana? You know your friend better than I.
I mean, we've known each other for a full 20 minutes.
Unusual times, Your Reverence. With us, the Kunari might do some good. I am sure of it, in fact.
Were things not so desperate? Very well, I trust you. Take these keys to his cage and make her watch over you.
Thank you, Your Reverence. Your trust is not misplaced.
Alright, so now we have the key. Oh, and we can also talk to Pater Gritch while we're in here.
Yes? What can I do for you?
I have a letter for you from the Blackstone Irregulars.
I knew this time would come. I should have listened to my sister. Sure, sign the paper, she said. You'll enjoy some coin now, but they'll be back. I guess I'll see you on the front lines.
And when the
yes,
chant
you will,
spreads
Patter
across all
Cullen.
four corners of the world, let it rise at last to the
But we
ears
can
of
add
the
that one
Maker.
to our list, Julia, of people who are voiced by the same
Why
voice
do you
actor
always
as
go
Cullen.
on about how stupid I am? I'm not stupid, am I?
If you need to ask the question...
Because it hurts my manly feelings, you know. Or one of them.
Then I'll be sure to write you an apology once all of this is over.
I was educated by the Chantry. I studied history. They don't make stupid Templars.
Then I must have been mistaken. I'm very impressed.
No, you're not. You're not even listening to me.
My, you are smarter than you look after all. Your Chantry must have been very proud.
Ah, they're so great. I'm not stupid. Am I? No, Alistair, you're not stupid. She's just mean. Or she likes being mean to you, depending on your perspective on the situation. Alright, let's go and get Sten out of the cage. Alright. See if the lady is still floating in the air. Indeed, she is.
So, let me get this straight. You were a cloistered sister?
You must have been a brother before you became a Templar, no?
I never actually became a Templar. I was recruited into the Grey Wardens before I took my final vows.
Do you ever regret leaving the Chantry?
No, never. Do you?
Yes. You may not believe it, but I found peace there. The kind of peace I've never known.
It used to get so quiet at the monastery that I would start screaming until one of the brothers came running. I would tell them that I was just checking. Oh, you never know, right?
No, I never did anything like that. I enjoyed the quiet.
Suit yourself. The look on their face was always priceless.
I can just picture young Alistair just screaming at the top of his lungs, ah! And the brothers showing up and being like, no, I was just wanting to make sure anybody was here. No big. All right, let's stand out.
You wish something more of me?
I have the key to open your cage.
I confess, I did not think the priestess would part with it.
She agreed to release you into my custody.
So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the Blight.
How can you help us exactly?
I have spent my life in the Vanguard. I know war, and your lands need all the help they can get.
Very well, I'll let you out.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
Thank you, Sten. Glad to have you with us.
May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
And now we have Sten. I am going to just accept for now because it is 6 o'clock. So we are going to go ahead and save here before we head out into the area, the field area here to finish our other related Lothering quests. Alright, so thank you for coming to hang out. I am just checking real quick here. Just got a message. And yes, exactly. A comic that Julia sent me of young Alistair in the Chantry. So yeah, anyway, thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. Oh, look at that. Do you see that lady just ran right into me? That's crazy. Alright. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming and hanging out, and I hope that you enjoyed our little exploration of the bustling metropolis of Lothering. And now that we have added Leliana and Sten to our merry little band, next time we will be able to go and do some our quests that we got from the Chanter's board, and take care of some other bad guys and stuff around Lothering, and then we will head on our way into the great vast lands of Ferelden. Very exciting. So, alright, well, thanks for coming, and see you guys on Wednesday. Bye!
Thanks for watching. To see more travel highlights of virtual destinations, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if there's a game location you'd like me to visit, tell me in the comments below. If you enjoy what I do, feel free to support me on Ko-fi.com or check out my travel stickers, postcards, and other designs on Redbubble. Links are in the description. Safe journeys, and see you next time on Travel Rebooted.